Hey guys, welcome to our weekly Bacon Cast series. My name is Francis. I'll be one of your hosts this week, along with Nick,
Hey guys, how's it going?
Darcy,
Hello, hello.
and Thomas.
What's up?
Awesome. So, how's everyone doing this week?
Yeah, been a pretty good week.
I'm doing pretty good. Nothing too horrible went wrong, right?
That's good.
That makes it a good week, right?
I don't know. They're still spinning.
Last I checked, we didn't go flying through the air when it stopped magically.
But we wouldn't be flying through the air because the air is on the earth. We already flying through the air, aren't we?
That was a Futurama joke.
No, like science proved it. If the Earth were to magically stop moving, like instantly, you would go flying.
Oh yeah, because inertia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we were sitting in a car and it suddenly stopped moving, we would fly out the windshield.
What if I strap myself to the earth? Then would I go flying?
Your brain would probably, I don't know.
That would be
Probably internally you would have some damage, but you wouldn't go flying.
You'd have G-forces over what 10, which would be fatal.
I have no idea.
Actually, this is exactly what I was gonna reference later on. So
Okay.
All right. So Nick, what are we streaming this week?
RollerCoaster Tycoon World Deluxe Edition. It's currently in early access for a lot of people out there. They may remember the original Tycoon games, specifically roller coaster ones. I know I played these a lot when I was younger because it was one of the few games that were actually
Even
out
I
there.
played, which is saying something.
Hours and hours and having the fun of building like a roller coaster that no one can survive, or you just like
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Incomplete tracks that then launch,
Straight into the air and they just land and die. Yeah, I love that.
So lots of good times. So they came out. It's early access with the new one. So figure check it out. Kind of hit that little nostalgia spot, and hopefully have some fun.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I played a lot just like you. I remember playing the very first RollerCoaster Tycoon that was in 2D instead of 3D. It was just flat plane.
2D. What?
it was perceived 3D. It was like
Isometric.
set angle.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like all of the animations and everything were done two-dimensionally, but moved across your screen so that your brain perceived it as being 3D.
Frolicking Forest.
I love to frolic.
I bet you do.
Sounds really kinky, but okay.
I am a frolicking person. Frolic is actually a word that is in my daily vocabulary.
Are you old enough to be considered a person?
Yeah.
I thought because you were mentioning you were younger when you played Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I mean, you couldn't have been more than a zygote at that time.
No.
Zygote.
Zygote is not a word I use normally.
All right, so let's build some stuff.
Can I do a barrel roll?
I've been playing this game a lot recently, and I'm a little
You
addicted
own the game
to it,
too?
but- Yes.
Ooh,
I'm
Star
a little
Wars.
bit addicted to it, but there's one
Oh,
problem
Space
with this
Wars.
game. There's a problem with this game where if you have this like OCD thing where you have to have every single path be 90 degrees or be perfectly straight
Square.
and parallel, or square, you're gonna have an issue with this game because it's very, very difficult to build in straight lines with this game.
Because they have two ways to help. You can either turn on grid mode, right, or you can do snap mode.
Yep.
But the problem is when you snap, like as an example, if I wanted to build a path, I was experiencing this the other day. Like the snap point right here, which is the main entrance, when you drag it out, it's not actually like straight out. It's actually at an angle. Like that snap point right there, that's an angle.
Well,
It's
actually,
hard to
that point
tell.
right there should be straight. Like that snap point you're getting right there should be
I was
straight.
trying. Maybe this map, it was on a different map, but maybe it was that map where like the center was like off center. but it was not working. Like it was weird. So yeah, the snap
It would be
points
off if you went into
need
grid
some-
mode there.
Yeah,
Yeah, they definitely need to do some fixing with that.
they need to
and
like do
there
some
are
fixing. Yeah, see, like right here, it's like it would be like this. The other map I was on, it would be like this, where it's like just slightly off.
That would
Anyways.
bug me.
yeah, grid mode isn't designed for 90 degrees. I use grid mode for placing the structures because it's nice to be able to have something to grid on. But the roads I usually use snap mode. Still, it's really difficult.
You said they're doing early access, so are they still planning on adding like a lot more features? Or like, what do you mean by that?
I don't know if they're planning on adding more features. I'm sure they will in the future. But yeah, it's an early access, so there's a lot of features that may be missing right now, and there are a lot of bugs right now. There's pathing issues with the they call them peeps, your patrons to your theme park.
Your people.
Your people.
No, they're called peeps. If you mouse over like the top there, it says peeps, and if you read like some of the tooltips, it actually say peeps.
Oh.
I remember when Peeps were these marshmallow things.
Marshmallow things. Oh, you mean like the little peg guys?
No, they're Peeps. They're like candied marshmallow, sugary something. They're
Oh,
Peeps.
like a real candy concoction?
They're called Peeps. Yeah.
Yeah, you've never heard of
You've
a
never
peep?
heard of Peeps?
No, I've never. Maybe I did, but I just don't remember it. I mean, that's possible.
I actually don't really like peeps. They're kind of
Yeah, I don't like them either.
that doesn't look straight.
See, that's what I'm saying.
For it to snap there, you snap there, perfect.
Whew. Oh yeah.
We did it, guys.
I've heard of Starburst before and Skittles.
Skittles. How have you? I can't even process you not hearing of peeps. Like,
Why not?
because they're like a classic candy.
Apparently, it's not.
But it.
Right?
Okay, so
mean-
wait. Why can't people enter your thingy?
Oh, I gotta turn it on.
Wait, so are you not able to build your own coasters anymore? Or do you have to use?
No, you
preset
can.
ones?
I haven't.
Oh.
So you have to like work your way up to it.
You have
So
to make
hopefully-
money to pay for
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Hopefully by the end of the podcast, I'll be able to do something.
Well, actually, if you're playing the campaign mode, all it requires is you skip all the little missions it gives you. So you press like the top left, and then press
really?
skip, and then press skip, and then you just keep skipping them until it gives you all your shit.
Oh, look at that.
It takes time. It takes time for them to get like each one takes a little while for it to come to you.
Although I'm also not gonna have a lot of money, so I don't know if I'll be able to afford.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on my
that's
own.
that's also an issue. You're gonna have like one ride, and you're gonna have to try to struggle and make money off one ride.
That's a lot of people going into that ride.
Hey, those aren't people. They are Peeps.
Oh,
Raise your prices. Just make it like $5 or something.
$500.
Whoa! Let's get a couple good ratings first, and then you jack up the price.
Oh, okay.
But wait, what about general park admission?
Wait, what ride is that? That ride only supports like 5 people at a time, so I think that's okay, I guess. There's like one of these rides that's like a slide, and only one person can go on at a time, and literally that slide takes like 30 seconds for one person.
That's awesome.
So I have to
Awesome
price
in a really
that
horrible way,
ride,
but that's
so
awesome.
I have to price that ride so that basically no one can afford it except the people that are like really have a lot of money. So there's always just a very short line there, so it doesn't like pile up because it's such a dumb attraction. Got
So
your,
now I know why you made the turns, because there's
a
actually
carousel?
lines of peeps.
See, like that's an example right there. Is like that's the snap
Oh.
point.
What?
Yeah,
like-
that's I hate that.
And it's like I even turned snap off, and it's still doing that.
Oh no. So you have to
It's-
click there?
Yeah,
It's really
if I want to
buggy.
connect it.
Yeah,
my
you
OCD.
have no choice.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you. Like this game, it'll fuck with your OCD so badly. Like shit is gonna be off all over the place.
Yeah, you got to make some better prices so you make the monies.
Your ride's not open yet.
Oh man, Have you guys ever been on one of those pendulum rides that goes upside down and just hangs there?
Yeah. Yeah. I have.
Oh, they
I
have them in
love
this game.
amusement parks.
It's like the fifth one or sixth one in that, or
It's
the
right
sixth
there.
one.
Yeah.
Mouse
Yeah, it's
over.
right there.
He's looking at it. That's why I
Come on,
was
pay
talking about
attention.
it.
No, but
That's
are you talking about the one that just goes in a circle? Like that's the sixth one.
No, it was meaning like a pendulum, like the fourth one, but it actually hangs upside down.
Yeah, some of them will like stop when you get
Like-
to the top.
Like the
and then go
pirate
again.
ship.
Okay, dude. You've been to
Because
Wonderland,
this one
right?
goes upside down and it spins.
Wait, what is Wonderland? Is that like a
It's a Canadian thing.
Wonderland
it's a Canadian.
is basically it's our amusement park. Like, yeah. No better way of explaining it. Like, we don't have like a Universal Studios or a Disneyland or something like that,
Why not?
or like a Six Flags even. Why not? Because what? Because we're in what?
Like what? I don't see why
forget it.
there wouldn't be parks.
We do
Like,
have a park.
we
It's
have
called
park.
Wonderland.
A park?
We
I
have
have, like-
multiple across the country, yes, but
yes.
the one that the one that's well known in Ontario is Wonderland.
Oh. Is it a big one or kind of small?
And it's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Yeah, it's big. But not as big as like Disneyland or Six Flags or something like that. But it's pretty big.
But we did have one of those pendulum rides that hung upside down, and they actually just got rid of it a couple years ago.
Why?
Probably because it was like 50 years old.
No, dude, the Canadian Mindbuster's still there, and that thing's like 80 years old.
Oh man, I loved. I used to. I remember there was one time I was there when I was a kid, and the park. It was like late at night, like 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock maybe, before the park closed, and we just kept going to that ride over and over. We would exit and just re-enter because there was no lineups for it. So we would literally just get off on the right side, run around in a circle, come back in, and reboard the same cart.
We used to do that all the time, but we eventually just asked the people who were managing the ride, just say, you know, we're just gonna run around. As long as there's nobody else coming, can we just sit in our seats? He's like, yeah, sure.
We probably should have done that. Just like, go again, go again.
Let there be light.
I've actually been on that swing ride only once.
What's
The
the swing
one-
ride?
The blue one on the left side.
You've
Oh,
never been on one of those?
I said I've
I
been
forgot
on
what
it
it's called, but
once.
you've never
He
been
just
on
said
one?
he'd been in there.
I just said I've been on it once.
I'm
Fail.
dumb. How?
I
Your
think it's
words, not
because it was
mine.
it's no fun for me. Like I was sitting on that thing and I was like whipping around and I'm just like,
Classic.
I get
what is this? This is so boring.
I get like super sick when I get dizzy, so any rides that spin I can't go on. But like
Yeah,
I
same.
love roller
Yep.
coasters.
It's that like inner ear thing.
Like ballet dancers, when they spin, they usually fixate their attention on one point.
Right.
So maybe that's what you need to do. You need to like look at
I've
one thing on
tried
the
that
ground
and
as
it's
you're
just
going around.
it's I don't know. It helps a little bit, but it's not like I can't stay.
All the benches.
Dude, these benches cost $3. I'm wondering what futuristic materials they are made of.
Nanites.
It's really funny because I actually, when I made my first park, I didn't put any benches, and then I kept clicking on my peeps, and they were like, "I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired." I'm like, "What am I supposed to do? You're tired, so
Make
go
beds."
go sit down." Yeah, I'm like, "Oh shit! I actually have to make benches so they can sit down and not be tired." It's kinda-
Wait, what is that?
It's a maintenance.
Oh, that was not 90. Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, that-
Yeah, your one of your rides is broken.
I know.
Maintain them rides, yo.
That one's really popular.
Wait, if it's broken and it's still moving, will that mean that the parts break and all of a sudden you have casualties at your park?
That's like a catastrophic.
I don't think so.
Why is the ride that can only accept like 5 people the most popular? getting all those peeps.
Right by the
It's a
entrance, it's
s-
been out the most.
It's
been
a
out the
space
longest.
simulator. Yeah.
I think it has to do with being closest to the entrance, and it depends on the pricing as well.
Wait, Nick, you haven't even started altering the pricing yet, have you?
No, I'm about to do that. I'm just...
And also your stands aren't open. Oh my gosh, I want to play this game so bad now. Like,
Those things cost money. Like everything costs money to operate when you turn them on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why is that large?
because there's on large.
I'm surprised nobody took advantage of that opportunity. Hmm.
What opportunity?
Never mind. Me being inappropriate.
What? The,
What?
Alright.
I missed
Bacon?
it. I have
No,
no
I'm-
idea.
I don't
I'm just
even
gonna
know.
ignore it. No, I know what he was getting at. I'm just gonna ignore it. Let's be classy on this podcast.
Yeah, that never happened.
Reach 300 peeps. You're at
And eat
264.
them all.
You can
Eat-
make 300 peeps, yo.
Whoa, wait. What is that?
It doesn't
is
actually give you anything, though, is it?
Wait, what's that first one? Is it like the throwing ride?
No,
It's
that's a
the
giant
where you-
swing.
It's where you
Yeah,
you're
that's
like
the swing.
Superman and you swing back and forth.
Have you ever been on that?
No.
No.
I have never been on that. I always see it because the people swing in Wonderland. They swing over like the walkway where you like walk.
Yeah, it goes right over the entrance.
Yeah, and you always see the people like flying over you, and you're like looking up like what the fuck. But no, it's no.
Well, usually
I
you have
don't
to
know.
pay more just to do that one ride. Which
Yeah,
is,
you
like,
do.
annoying.
You do.
Well, that's the cool thing about this game is you choose. You can either do like Six Flags where it's a really high price to get in, but then the
The
rides are
entrance
free.
fee. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
you can
yeah.
do it where every ride is its own cost, which is how it's set up right now.
I've actually never tried
Well,
it the other way.
Canada's Wonderland's kind of a mix of both. Yeah.
Most of the rides are free.
Right, but there's
Yeah,
a
most
couple
parks I
that-
go to is rides are free and you just pay to get in.
Right, but then you've got the couple that are, those fantastic rides that, as we said, like the swing, you have to pay extra to do.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
always a couple. Because they want to get as much money as possible.
I
Wait,
think you're
what?
out of money.
No?
No, I have money.
Wait, no, that's park value. Wallet, 4,000, yeah.
Do you guys like the rides that just like have those extreme drops from really high heights?
Like,
Like
drop
Drop
towers?
Zone.
Yeah, like drop towers, pretty much.
Yeah, they're fun. Why, do you not like them?
I hate them. I really hate them.
Why?
Because I don't like that feeling of falling, I guess.
Are you afraid of heights? Or
My fear of heights is I have a mild fear of heights. But like
I have
it's,
a mild fear.
yeah,
I mean,
have a mild
everybody
fear of
innately
heights.
has it. I mean, what is it? It's part of your reptilian brain, isn't it?
I'm a reptile? What?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I assume you're talking about like evolution, that we evolved from some kind of amphibious fish into reptiles into mammals, and you're saying that it's some carryover from that.
Yeah, let's
have
go
no
with that.
idea. I'm just trying to explain where you're coming from because it's I have no idea about that. I'm sure like mice. Have
What is
fear of heights,
happening?
right?
Well,
Oh, I
Are you-
sped up time.
Sped
Oh,
it up.
okay.
mhm.
I need money.
Oh,
Like I'm sure
Do you guys
mice
ever
have a
have
fear of
that-
heights, right?
probably.
Or maybe they don't understand what heights are and they just like they'll just fall and die.
Guys,
Oh, I should probably put a bathroom.
I just realized that I'm just sucking on a reed right now.
um,
Sounds like Thomas to me, so that's no surprise.
Like, I'm just sitting here and I grabbed this saxophone reed and I just started sucking on it. I don't know why.
You're weird.
That's I guess you found your binky.
I don't know.
What theme is your park going with right now? Are you going like science fiction or like rodeo ranch
no.
style?
it looks like
Um,
money themed to make a big roller coaster.
Yeah, I just because I'm just building something right now. I didn't really go with a theme.
All right.
I just love seeing them go super fast. Just like that was a great sound effect I just made.
You trying to be an adult from Charlie Brown? Hmm.
Charlie Brown is pretty awesome.
Is it really? With the Great Pumpkin?
Charlie Brown is a classic.
How is it a classic to you? I mean, everything about
They
that show
released
probably
a
finished
new
how
movie.
long before?
A Charlie Brown movie?
What is it, Peanuts?
Yeah, which I heard was really good. I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I watched it. It carried the spirit of the show and those like the movies that they made in the past. But it was nothing amazing. It's just called the Peanuts movie.
So it was just like a
It's-
long episode of a Peanuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's done in CG. Okay, so it's not like animated back in the day, except that it's like 10 or 15 FPS CG where they intentionally like break up the animations to make it look like that old style of animations, but it's in 3D. So it's kind of awkward to watch sometimes.
So if you watch it in 3D, would you just get a headache?
Possibly. The thing is, some stuff is choppy, but then other stuff like the snowflakes falling from the sky, it's completely smooth.
Do you
It's
guys like
very strange.
watching things in 3D? Like, do you want to go to movies and like I have to see it in 3D? Because like I used to be like that, but now I'm really like I don't really want to go see it in 3D.
I'm actually kind of at the point where I'd rather not. I'd rather just. I mean, I want
Yeah.
to see it in IMAX, but
Oh yeah,
3D.
IMAX definitely.
Like I was mad because Star Wars: The Force Awakens, it was only in IMAX 3D. There was no regular IMAX showings.
Yeah.
And that
Uh-huh.
really pissed me off.
Actually, when I
Really?
went with my brother-in-law,
there was no-
it was the same thing. We could only see it in IMAX 3D or regular
Wow.
3D or regular. There was no non-3D IMAX.
So I assume you just went to the regular screening.
Yeah, regular 3D.
I saw it all. Well, I saw it on IMAX 3D 3 times, and I saw it regular twice.
Holy shit.
Why? Why would you see it that many times?
Because I'm a huge Star
They
Wars
made a
fan.
lot of money off you. Yeah, you're a big Star Wars nerd. We'll get to that later. So let's jump to our first topic today. So back in March, Microsoft announced that it was opening Xbox Live up to Windows 10 and other platforms. So I want to specifically focus on the other platforms part right now. So in the past, Xbox Live was proprietary to Xbox consoles only. They had apps in the past where you could view maybe like your achievements and your gamer score and stuff, but it was basically you couldn't earn achievements or do anything else on Xbox Live outside of your console. So now that they're opening it up, it's possible to have PC games on Xbox Live and possibly other platforms as well, like Android, iOS, or like if some miracle happens, PlayStation Network. And well, speaking of the PlayStation
A
Network,
miracle.
yeah, honestly, for those two networks to come together and actually have one network, no, that's not going to happen. Not in my lifetime. The PlayStation Network has always had cross-platform, like it was open to it. I remember buying Portal 2 back in the day on my PS3. Inside was a code for the Steam version of the game. So you buy one version, you get 2 copies of the game, basically. And the
But
PC
did they
version
jack up
and
the price, or was it
no,
the
it's the
same
same price.
same price? Oh, that's nice.
So the PC version and the PS3 version could play together. So you buy one version and you could literally play co-op with your friends on 2 different systems.
That's awesome.
So I think Xbox is just slowly catching up from their archaic mentality of we are in control of this and we don't want anyone else in here. Because I think they recognize that people are playing games on other platforms these days. and they see Steam and the popularity of Steam these days as well.
Yeah.
What about the Steam console? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, PC master race, right? So you got to appeal to both.
I wouldn't call myself like a big like 100% PC fan because for every generation of game console out there, I've always owned something. So
Yeah, I mean, like I bought a PS4 and I barely use it. Like I'm mostly on my PC.
I
I don't know
am
if
a
that's just
huge
me or
I'm a huge fan of PC games, but I will admit there are certain genres of games that are just played better when you have a controller in hand.
party games,
Right.
trivia games,
Like
Sports games.
sports games.
right, driving games where you have like full control of the throttle,
Oh
like
yeah, driving
flying
games.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
you
mean,
definitely need some analog control on the throttle and the steering for a driving game because having like WASD for a driving game that is basically left is 100% and right is 100%, that just it doesn't make sense.
yeah.
right.
I used to
But
play this old school NASCAR game on the PC. It was awesome.
right, and
It was like
driving games
impossible,
on a
but it was awesome.
PC are so
Oh yeah.
difficult, but if you've got the controller in your hand, you could just play and enjoy it. But if you're playing a first-person shooter, there's just night and day difference. Like I've been watching a lot of PlanetSide videos on YouTube, and watching the people on PlayStation 4, I can't help but laugh at just how long it takes for them to kill people because you see their crosshair moving up and right and down and left and all over the place, just trying to track the guy when it's just like on a PC, the guy would have been dead in like
You just snap
an
and
eighth of the
click.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they already have auto aim on PS4.
Yeah, so you just have to get close. Like you don't even have to.
Right, but I mean, yes, they do have an aim assist, but even with that, they're still not getting the same time to kills. It's a completely different game experience, which means that yes, they might actually have more strategy involved in their kills, but when you actually want to aim quickly, there is no solution there for any console. Except if you want to go really old school and play Duck Hunt.
You can duck hunt. You can plug in a mouse and keyboard into a console.
Wait, really? Oh, just use
Yep.
like the USB ports?
Okay, but if you did
Um,
that, would you have the same control as somebody on a PC, or would the aim assist stay on and be like completely broken?
Basically, there are different profiles that are set up for specific games, and it basically mimics the analog stick input when you move your mouse. And you could
Oh.
So
set your mouse acceleration, all that stuff, to mimic all the stuff that you do in your mouse, but it sends the Xbox or PlayStation analog inputs, like stick inputs.
there's no advantage. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
there is.
you have the tactile part of having a mouse in your hand, but if it's not even performing like a mouse, then you don't have any advantage. I mean, all they're doing is giving people who play console a false impression of what it would be if they went to PC, which admittedly is good for their marketing because, hey, they wouldn't want to like say, hey, go play PC. It's going to give you better performance. They just say, oh, this is what it's going to look like. And they say, here's the shitty experience. And they don't tell you it's
Yeah.
shitty, just so you believe.
It's a
I mean,
trap.
it is a trap. I understand
know-
why for marketing reasons, but I mean, it's
You
kinda
bring that
shitty.
up. It's a trap. The voice actor who played Admiral Akbar in the original Star Wars trilogy, he just passed away this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Where Eric Bowersfield died at the age of 93. Anyways,
Dude,
so
you're
back
hurting
to
my
what you're talking about.
feels. Now
I
can't
know
say
it's sad.
a
I'm
trap
sorry, but
anymore.
yeah, every time you say that, you're gonna think, "Oh, damn, he's dead."
Yep.
But
Thanks, man.
but yeah, you're right. Like it's not, you're not getting that 100% mouse playback or whatever you want to call it. It's just mimicking what a mouse can do on a PC. I've played Call of Duty for years on consoles. I haven't played recently. I mean, I played Black Ops 3, but I didn't play in multiplayer, just through the campaign. I don't feel there's anything wrong with playing Call of Duty online with a controller, as long as you know that everyone else is at the same level you're at and having
Right.
the same difficulties you have.
Right. I'm not saying that anybody's at an advantage or disadvantage, but I'm just saying that the experience, it's just not the same. Like I wouldn't want to be
Well, I
playing
wouldn't say the
Mario Party.
experience is less compelling or more compelling. It's just a different experience.
It's
Like
less compelling.
just because you're playing PlanetSide 2 and you could whip around and quickly take a headshot at someone, that doesn't actually make the game better. If anything, that guy you just killed, it gave him a worse experience
True.
because he just
So
randomly died from a headshot.
We should probably like actually play PlanetSide 2 one day, just so people are like, "What is this game we always talk about?"
Possible. I mean, I'm down with anything. I honestly want to do like a Let's Play or some type of other series with PlanetSide. I think I've spoken to you guys about it, but I mean, we'll save it. It's a secret.
Shh. Keep it on
keep
the
it
down low.
secret. Keep it safe.
Pretty much. So, going back to cross-platform multiplayer on Xbox Live, would you guys? I mean, would you guys care if you could play, let's say, between an Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you could play multiplayer together?
Well, I'm gonna go back to what we were going on console, or on controls. I mean, as long as no controller, or as long as
You
you're
have to
at an
destroy those
equal,
trees.
Yeah, I didn't want to though.
you have to be equal footing. Otherwise, you're screwed. Like you can't have a PC
Versus
against a controller
console.
in a first-person
Yeah.
shooter game. That is just that's gonna fail all
I
over
mean,
the place.
I'm okay with that because I'll be playing
Right.
on PC. But
I agree. I mean,
These idiots playing with controllers.
is there like a
Right.
mass delete? By the way, can I like?
I never found it.
Or do I
Alt
have to
F4.
like click on every single one of these? Yeah, I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna work, dude.
Like the only way I found is just to press B and just to click on every one of those things, zoom in and just like delete them all.
Alt F4. I like Darcy's idea.
Mhm.
Alt F4.
So sorry, Darcy, what you were just saying?
Oh, playing between consoles, as you were saying, it's unlikely that they're going to work together and, unify. However, there is no advantage over one console to another. I mean, yeah, one might have more buttons, one might be more comfortable in your hand, but your friend might like it differently. But essentially, you're not at an advantage hardware-wise.
Yeah, the big thing with that is it's actually the console companies. Like, because from a consumer standpoint, it's like, yeah, it's awesome. I can play with my friends even if they bought the other system. Whereas now, they lose that marketing power. The Xbox
Yep, there's no
and
incentive
PlayStation.
to buy the
Because
other
people are
console
like-
now, right?
Yeah, and consoles have gotten pretty far away from having exclusives too. So it's even they're really losing a lot of their marketing power over the
I think
course of time.
A lot of people are actually going to consoles first before they go to PCs because it's a lot cheaper to go to a console. It's like
But that's
300
a
to 400.
misconception. That's a
Then-
misconception.
But it's like 800 to build your own good PC, at least, right?
My computer, I
No.
spent 600 and I bought it 6 years ago, and it's still
I
running.
think the
I mean,
average
the only-
person just doesn't know how to price and build their own system, so they would go to Best Buy and pick up whatever they're recommended at Best Buy.
which
Yeah,
is a piece
and-
of shit. It's like the Best Buy stuff is
Generally.
not designed for gaming. It's designed for office work.
They do sell gaming PCs, and some of them are actually reasonably priced, but you have to. You're taking the word of this dude working at Best Buy that's earning near minimum wage to give you the correct information and recommend the correct PC for you.
Yeah.
And if that guy doesn't build computers and he's just working in the computer section arranging keyboards and mice on the shelves, he doesn't fucking know anything. He's just gonna be like, oh, this one over there looks pretty gaming
This-
looking. It's
yeah,
got some red
this
lights on
one's-
it.
This one's gonna give me the best commissions. This one right here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much it. I mean, this one's $2,500. It gives you more orange juice
Mm,
and more money in my pocket. Pretty much.
but
So-
doesn't the pulp hurt the circuitry? Mhm.
No, it helps it. Increases conductivity.
Oh.
You don't know?
Love it.
You don't
Love
know?
it.
Pulp is a electrical conductor.
Okay,
Throwing
so
some real
is
shade
this
at Best
orange
Buy
juice
right
from
now.
is this orange juice from concentrate or is this fresh squeezed?
Of course, it's Florida fresh squeezed oranges.
No,
Good
it's
know,
Canada.
man.
Fresh squeezed oranges.
How the hell are we gonna grow oranges in Canada? Half the fucking time it's too cold for oranges. Our oranges would just die. They would
Yeah,
grow
that's
to be
the
the size of
point.
like a grape, and they would be dead.
That's the point. They're like, it can't even be possible. It's like, what?
Dude, we don't have fruit up here. We drink the brown crap that oozes from trees.
Sap?
No, wait, hold
You
on.
mean- wait,
In
wait.
defense of the brown crap, it tastes great.
Yes, it
'Cause
does.
It's sugar.
It's the blood of the trees. What?
The blood of your enemies.
I said the blood of the trees, but whatever.
Hey,
works
but
for
you know what? We don't kill the
What,
trees when we
chicken
do
butt?
that. We drain them of their sap.
So we're tree vampires.
Well,
I'm
we
here
don't
to suck
need
your
to
blood.
drink it to live, but we can drink it for.
Wait, we
pleasure.
don't?
At least I don't. I don't drink maple syrup to survive.
You're doing it wrong.
I thought all Canadians
Maybe I
do
am.
was drink syrup, hug mooses, and be nice to everyone.
Hey, those are meese.
Meese? Oh, sorry.
Peace. That's a good one. So yeah, let's jump back to the topics. So
Who needs top?
it's been 4 years since Mass Effect 3 came out, and last year, I think June of last year, BioWare and EA announced that they're going to be creating another game in the Mass Effect universe called Mass Effect Andromeda. And about the same time, they released 2 teaser trailers. One of them was actually voiced by Jennifer Hale, who voiced Commander Shepard, the female Commander Shepard, in the first trilogy. So we actually have some new information from various sources about the possible storyline of the game. So in the first game, we were minding our own business in our own galaxy in the Milky Way, and we're like, oh, everything's good. We have these gates that we can jump from system to system. It's amazing. And we end up finding out that there's these aliens, blah blah blah, want to kill us. We defeat them, and everything's good, right? So now in this new game, we build a giant ship. It's like an ark or something. We put a bunch of explorers on it. I don't exactly know who's going to be on the ship. They haven't told us yet. We send it off to Andromeda to explore this new galaxy. And the indigenous people living in that new galaxy now see us as the invaders. And I thought that was a really interesting storyline, a plot development, like a good twist on what they did in the original series.
So,
Sorry, this is not a good lead into the topic, but
no, I'm just thinking, like,
go ahead.
I
Think
like
about
it. I didn't
Star
even know
Trek.
this existed, so now I
think
have
about Star
background.
Trek. They've got all these rules where it's like you can't make first contact unless they're of a certain, like, technological advancement.
The
Oh,
Prime
right. Star
Directive.
Trek does have those rules.
Right. Now, I
Prime
mean,
Directive.
exactly. Now, would it actually help in this situation at all? Sorry.
No, because there are probably technologically advanced species in that other galaxy already,
Okay, so
like spacefaring species.
okay, so if they have multiple species in the galaxy, they trade, they move around. What's the difference between having a new one pop up in their galaxy versus one coming from a different one. It's an explorer from somewhere else, and as long as they're not being disruptive or offensive or harmful, does it matter where they're from?
I mean, yeah, because you just showed up, right? Okay, so if aliens just showed up today, but they were just watching us, wouldn't we be scared and worried we're not? Oh, like they're not attacking us. They're peaceful.
We're not
Okay.
a spacefaring civilization,
So,
so that's a
Thomas,
hard
if you went
comparison.
outside this evening and you saw a flying saucer just hovering, and he's got some telescope type thing looking right at you, and you're just like, oh, he's just watching me. Would you feel content and then go about the rest of your night?
No, I wouldn't.
But you know they probably are
All these
watching
dudes
us.
are puking everywhere.
Why are they so sick?
I don't know, because they can't handle a wooden roller coaster, I guess.
That roller coaster looks crazy.
It's a wooden roller coaster. Look at that.
There's no loops. It's fine.
Do they have like where you can watch it like in first person view?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought they
press the
did.
camera. Press the camera.
What camera?
Down. No. Go back to the first tab and press the camera at the bottom.
Choo choo.
What a great view.
You can use
Wow.
mouse button 3 to look around, I think, or like hold control. That's hilarious.
What?
And there's left and right bottoms of the buttons at the bottom. You can switch seats if you want.
That's says the ride. It doesn't say seat.
Oh,
Is the ride gonna ever start, or are we just gonna sit here all day?
Maybe it is a different seat.
that's.
It's probably waiting for people to get on it. But
Oh yeah, it doesn't go if there's no people, right?
I just
Like-
realized that annoying pee scream in my ear with the people talking.
yeah, it's because I'm
Here
still
we
in
go.
fast forward mode.
Here we go. Here we go.
Whee!
So beautiful.
Woo! Whoa! So fast!
Okay.
Whoa,
Wow.
you have the time sped up. You have the time
I
sped
know.
up. That took like 1 second. The whole ride was 1 second long.
Whee! All right, guys, good ride. That's why they're so sick. You're going
Yeah.
5,000 miles per hour.
That was awesome.
Best ride.
So wait, what were we talking about?
Those people already look sick, and they're still getting on the roller coaster. What are they doing?
click on
Look
them.
at her
and,
face.
Like,
Look at that girl's face.
switch seats and then click on them. See what they say. They're probably like they're sick or they're like not
Wow.
happy.
She's just like, ah.
That face, man. That face. So yeah, anyways, back to Mass Effect. I think the storyline is, I think they're on the right path. There's been a lot of news recently, last month or two, that people are leaving BioWare and joining other companies. I don't know what to say about that. And the release date for Mass Effect 3 did get pushed back, or Mass Effect Andromeda did get pushed back to 2017. So, some bad news and some good news, I guess. Good news being I love the story that they're going to put out. You guys have any... So, have you guys played the original Mass Effect? The
I
original
played all three
trilogy?
of them. I had the continuing arc too, where you play the first one, use the save file to load the second one, use the save file to.
Oh,
load the
yeah,
third
I
one.
did that too. I think that system was designed beautifully, that you could transfer your character and all the decisions you made in the first game, and it affected the conversations you had with people in the second and third games.
Wait, how could they do that?
Because it
Coding?
read your save file from the first game and it knew everything that you did.
That is
Like,
awesome.
That
That is so cool.
the Mass Effect. That's one of those games where that's part of the game is your decisions will affect the rest of the game, and I mean like lose
It's
your
like any
allies.
BioWare game, yeah.
So,
and stuff like
Nick's
that.
game could be different than Francis's, just by the way
Yes.
you guys chose.
Because like there's stuff like if They took a few liberties, but generally, like, if you lost one of your allies, one of your shipmates in the first game, like, they wouldn't be in the second game.
Oh yeah. So there's a decision you have to make in the first game about like a third of the way through, where you have to decide to save what, Ashley or Caden.
Sorry, say that again. But what?
Wait,
There's a
who are
decision
they?
that you have to
Are
make.
they
in the
like ship people or what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
they're
it's
your
it's like the
crewmates.
main female or the main male human
Yeah.
counterpart on your ship, and you have to choose one. One of them goes on a suicide mission. The other one goes with you and lives.
And you basically have to decide which one lives and which one dies.
So Francis
And-
chose the female, and
Oh, of course I did. How
I
did
know
you
you
know?
lucky guess.
I'm not gonna let the
Lucky.
girl die. She's fucking hot.
Exactly.
So
That
I
is
send the
why
dude
I
to
told you
die.
that.
So like, and hold on, I played a girl in the for the entire series. So there was no chance of romance between me and this other girl, anyways. But I still did it.
You could get with the alien chick though.
Yes, I could have.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with like women and children first. It's like hot one lives.
Yep.
Hot one and less competition. Huh? So you know, I'm thinking like a military leader now. So you can tell, like, if you were like a military general, you would be like, you're really buff, you can go, you're really tall, I'm not that tall, and all the ugly guys can stay. And we'll keep all the women in like desk jobs, just like in World War II. Huh? Good stuff, right? No?
Yeah,
Wow.
totally.
You guys don't like that? So what? People taller and better looking than me, they can die basically.
Hey, thanks.
No, all you guys are fine because you guys are all ugly.
Thanks.
Actually, the only one that you
Wow.
could even try to say is ugly is me, because you've actually no, you've seen Nick too. So. I've never seen. Yeah, you've never seen Darcy though.
Hasn't he?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
No.
I don't
I
think
just
so.
wanted to troll.
You guys never seen me. I'm secret. I'm Kylo Ren, man. You guys don't see my face. You guys don't see my face until you just request that I take off my mask, and I'll just take it off.
I mean, like, I don't even care.
What
like,
the?
That's a
What?
lot of spinning.
What were you gonna say? You don't care what?
oh, like, I don't care if you like see my face. Like, I don't care.
Those trees are obviously in the way, man. You're not gonna be able to build that.
Well, I can see if it's even gonna fit, which it's not because it's hitting that other one.
It might look. It might fit.
It's red. That means it won't fit.
No,
Because of the
okay,
tree.
that's red.
No, you can see. I just pointed at my screen.
Oh,
Then
oh.
you can't move that. Move that ride then. Move that tiny ride then.
No.
Build
wait,
a
it was-
path
it was
out
good
to
there
the
for a
left
second.
side and use that space there for the smaller
Buy more
rides.
land. Buy more land.
I need 30,000.
Yeah, it's hard. Oh, you know what makes it money really quickly? Build food stands. Lots and lots of food stands. Drink stands, the cotton candy stands, all those stands, they make a ton of money.
Okay.
So anyways, where the hell were we? Good looking people, whatever. Mass Effect.
Okay, so we're going to invade Andromeda and have all of the beautiful
Yes.
people reproduce, just so we have an entire galaxy of beautiful people.
Wow.
And all of the men, Francis is going to sacrifice because, competition.
Yep. To the
Sure.
beautiful gods. Or, I don't know.
The gods of sacrifice?
Yes.
Well, it brings me back to like Greek mythology, where you would have like gods get jealous of like Aphrodite or whatever. It's one like or someone's like
Cassiopeia?
really like someone's really beautiful, and then one of the gods is like, oh, the people are saying that she's more beautiful than me, and then they'll go like transform her into like some like Medusa or transform her into some like cow or something.
Into
Like that-
some Medusa. That.
Yeah. She was
Yeah, Gorgon.
Medusa was
Yeah.
yeah
that
Medusa
became
was
her
a
new
gorgon
name.
and she was supposed to be really beautiful.
Cassiopeia wasn't she?
I have no idea. I'm not that familiar with Greek mythology. I just know what I've seen in like movies and read on Wikipedia. I'm sorry.
So you're unknowledgeable.
You
I
might
don't know,
want to
I'd say I
go
have
Google
enough
that
knowledge.
word.
Unknowledgeable. The
I'd say I've got-
unknowledgeable.
Well, do you know the answer to that?
No.
Who was Medusa initially? Yeah, exactly.
A snake.
Well, if she was a snake, then there
No.
would be no reason to turn her into a snake, right? So let's move on to our next topic. Quantum Break came out last week, I think, or yeah, last week.
It hasn't been long.
It's basically been a week. On the Xbox One and PC. The game was developed by Remedy Entertainment. They're the same developers that previously gave us Alan Wake and the original Max Payne, which were both outstanding story-driven games. By the way, if you haven't played them, go and play them. Alan Wake, beautiful game, great story, kind of confusing, but still. Max Payne, also like a very adult-themed game. I think we've spoken about Max Payne.
Hey, if you give
on
me the
last
money to buy
podcast.
the game and the console, I'll play.
Sure.
Again,
I'll do that
something
after.
else why you don't buy console is every game is $80.
I know.
And most of them only have a playtime, like you're only going to play it for
$80 in
a
Canada.
weekend or yeah, okay, fine, whatever. It's like 50, 60 bucks American.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to play it for a weekend or two, maybe a month if it's a multiplayer game with a lot of popularity, and then it's going to die out. So you've invested,
Yeah.
like, you invest so much more money into games that don't have the same playability.
I agree with you in the sense of
Okay.
longevity, because we have games on PC that have been with us for decades, well, at least one decade. Like World of Warcraft is a really good example of that, where I have a character in World of Warcraft, I have gear on it that I've gotten from years and years ago, I have unique items on that character. I can still go back into that game, still play it. There are still millions of people playing that game. Whereas if I put in a disc of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, no one would be playing that game at all.
Okay, something interesting is there was a game that was released by EA called Earth and Beyond, and it was released a very long
yeah, I
time
played
ago.
that. Yep.
And anyways,
Is that guy a zombie?
that title has been sold to somebody else.
That was
Some
funny.
like third party bought it, and they actually have their own host for it. Brains.
Are they making money on it?
No, they're not making money. They're I almost said brains. No, they're not making money, but it's just they wanted the game to keep going. So they've been adding content, and it's still the same engine, the same graphics. They're just keeping it going. There are still people that play it.
That's some crazy persistence. That reminds me of an article I read this week about Blizzard suing a group of developers that was keeping a like classic World of Warcraft server up. It was like World of Warcraft 1.12, which
Okay.
was just before Burning Crusade came out.
That's actually about the time that I really enjoyed Classic WoW. It had all of the
I
content.
feel the same way.
The original Naxxramas was amazing. Doing that at level
Yeah.
versus doing it
remember that.
in Wrath, night and day difference.
100%. I agree with you. That was the original Naxxramas. The difficulty level, everything about it was just amazing. The bosses weren't difficult to the point where you had to read like guides and like, oh my god, you have to like people have to step here and step there and step there and have like 50 steps, right? It was like there's different phases. We have to do this, target this guy, kill this guy, and then move here and do this. It was like basic, but it was difficult at the same time.
Okay, what is it? There was a boss fight pretty early on. It was the spider. It was in
Oh,
Spiderwing, first boss. I remember I was the hunter
Spiderwing
that had
first
the
boss.
kite.
Yes, I remember that.
I had
It's
to
the
kite
dude
with the
standing up
tank.
top that summons guys from those skeleton piles.
No. That's that was the Death
Isn't that the
Nightwing.
spider wing? Oh, that's the Death
No.
Nightwing. What's the spider wing then? What am I
You
thinking?
fought a spider or a beetle or something. It was like a Nubarak, or not a Nubarak. I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. I can't remember at this point. It's been too long.
Right, but there was still so much depth to it, and like I had to be in perfect coordination with the main tank, and we used to have to move together, and
Wait,
like we had to
main
walk down a tiny
tank?
ass. The primary tank of the guild,
Oh,
the person who gets
okay,
punched
okay.
in the face.
Okay, okay.
The tank that taunts the monsters off the DPSers and casters.
But we had to be in
I
perfect
don't really play
coordination.
games like that, so I don't know all the like.
Yeah, you're missing out
Terminology?
an entire
Terminology.
like you're missing out on an entire portion of like your gaming
Life.
experience. Yeah, you're
I
basically your
don't
life.
like those types of games.
Hmm.
You don't like it because you've never tried it. Like having 40 people working together.
I mean, I've
accomplish
tried
one
it
thing.
like a little bit. Yeah, I haven't done huge like 40 people type of
Oh, it's
thing.
only 8,000 to expand. What?
Hmm.
This map is really big.
I feel like you shouldn't go okay, up, okay.
Too late.
Lake you can't build. Lake.
It's just all the water there. I was looking at the water and like,
That's a nice
you're
park
gonna have
area.
to deal with that.
Whatever.
Well, there's a lot more water
whatever.
going up.
Yeah, that's
Water doesn't go up, dumbass.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's fine. I think he unlocked the good one. Yeah, World of Warcraft, good game.
Yeah,
Not much. But we've spoken about World of Warcraft so much in the past. I don't want to go back to it.
it's the go-to RPG. I mean, they had kind of cornered the market, and anytime another game that had a really great idea, Blizzard adapted it to theirs. Yeah.
What? Give me an example of a game that had a good idea.
Oh, is it like Rift and other games that came out? They had neat ideas that were essentially adapted into the next
Neat
X pack.
ideas, but they were essentially poor implementations of World of Warcraft. They were essentially
Right.
copying the game exactly, and they were like, okay, we're gonna put a unique like ability spell system.
Right, but that's the
like,
thing is
that's-
RPGs are all clones of themselves anyway.
Yeah, like that's like the whole like tank DPS healer triangle, right? Like rock, paper, scissors. Like that's every RPG out there. So that's not like a WoW thing. And like one thing I would argue that like Rift, just
They
'cause
took
I
it
played
from
Rift,
like Dungeons
did
and Dragons, right?
that one thing Rift did way better than WoW was the fact that you were able to switch on the fly what class you are. And I don't know, WoW I
Yep.
think does that now, or
remember
there's
that.
a way to do like multi-class now or whatever. But initially it wasn't like that. Whereas Rift, you were stuck with your like quote unquote class, but each class had multiple roles. So as a
Yeah, you can-
rogue, you could tank,
have, like, a
DPS,
talent
or
tree.
support.
Yeah, you had different talent trees that you
so
could be like tanking
You
spec. Or
you weren't like
DPS
I
spec
am
or
a
whatever.
tank and only a tank. And then you're like, oh, we don't need tanks? Well, shit, let me re-roll another character. This used to be like, all right, let me hit my little macro. It'll switch my skill set. It'll switch my gear, and boom, I'm a tank now. So, like, that's something that Rift did awesome.
And did you like that you
Yep.
could do that, or did you not like that you could just?
I loved it. It was great because you didn't
Yeah.
have if one guy couldn't make the raid, you were like, oh, no problem. I'm
You
the
weren't
ultimate
screwed
tank.
over for that
boom.
day. Yeah.
Right.
Instead of your alternate tank being like, oh, the main tank's here. I guess I'm not going on the raid. Let me just go sit over
Here.
in this room now. Not do
Thomas.
anything.
Thomas, could you imagine where every raid you needed 2 tanks, 3 healers, and 5 DPS, or just use that generic thing. Now you have 10 people log in. Well, the 10 people out of the 15 in your guild, you didn't have that combination. That meant you would be screwed for the night. So, no, when people have off specs or alternate specs that are well geared, you can fill roles and still progress.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's like when we play PlanetSide, it's like somebody saying, oh, no, I'm only heavy, sorry. Because heavies are the tanks or the maxes. And it's just like,
That's
oh,
actually
yeah.
a great example.
Right.
Not that anyone knows the references, but PlanetSide 1 to PlanetSide 2.
Yeah.
Like PlanetSide 1, you sorted into stuff and you couldn't just change it. Like if you wanted to be a medic, you had a certain medic. which meant you weren't starting into something else, and so
Is
you
that a
were kind of
squirrel?
stuck. Yeah, it's a squirrel.
It is. It is
Squirrel. I
a
love that.
huge
Squirrel.
hedge
Or
squirrel.
is it? It might be a chipmunk. It's a chipmunk, right?
No, it's a squirrel.
That looks
No.
that looks
It's a
fucking
squirrel.
awesome. I love that. Anyways, so where were we? So I was bringing up Blizzard shutting this free game service down.
Which they
and then
should, but I mean, I agree that they should and they should.
Well, how did we get to that topic? We were talking about Quantum Break, and then how did we get there?
I don't know.
Yes.
Quantum tunneling effect.
We just talk and then
All right. So we're just gonna go. We were just gonna like quantum particle from here to here. So we're just gonna switch the states, and it's gonna clone itself here. So we're gonna be
Oh.
back in Quantum Break now.
Okay, so what we should do is just use a quantum processor and think of all possibilities at once.
ha 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 ha. You're so funny. I want to be like Darcy.
I have no idea how a quantum processor would work because
I
It
don't
would be
understand.
multiple states at the same time. So
Right.
how would you even
Every-
grab data out of it?
I don't
Whatever
get
data
it
you grab
either.
out of it, it would just be like a bunch of crap.
Because, I mean, it's everything on and everything off at the same time. So, I mean, it's every possibility.
Well, it might not be every possibility because I mean, you can probably take a like such a small fraction of time that you can determine like certain positioning here and there of certain like
But
elements
there are
and
no
particles.
positions of switches.
I think there's like a pathing bug. I think I'm
There is a pathing bug. See all those guys get stuck. That's a pathing bug. I hope they fix that in the future because yeah, people just get stuck. Anyways, so the reason why I brought Quantum Break is they released their game and the game is extremely buggy on the PC right now. They're limited at 50 frames per second. They're running
50?
on they're running on Windows what is it called again? UWU whatever.
Universal Windows Platform?
Universal Windows Platform.
Universal Windows Platform, right? UWP. UWP is itself is limited to with VSync running in windowed mode. So you're already limited there. So games that utilize FreeSync or G-Sync, they cannot operate outside of full screen mode because you basically have to take over the entire monitor for it to function because you're affecting the refresh rates of the monitor. You guys know
So
what FreeSync
you can't
and G-Sync
even
is?
match the current refresh rate just so it's not affecting.
Say that again?
Okay, if you match the current refresh rate, it shouldn't affect the other applications. So if your application A is running at 60 FPS or 60 hertz, and all of a sudden you want to load it up and you've got FreeSync and it wants to run at 60, there should be no issue. If they're
If you're
running
running
at the
full
same.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But
even in windowed mode, why would they affect each other?
I can't explain that. Well, for UWP, they're restricting applications to with VSync. I think that's a decision because for mobile devices that are also running Windows 10, it can drain a device's battery if it's not limited. And there could be overheating
Right.
issues and other problems.
Right, but I mean, how many people actually do full gaming on a tablet? Because I mean,
The thing is, UWP, I don't think UWP was designed for these full games. It was designed for more like, I want to play like Flappy Birds or something, like some like mini game, like between my tablet when I'm out of the house and when I come home, I can play it on my PC as well.
but what about the people who
Oh.
want to play Call of Duty on their tablet by using Bluetooth keyboard and mouse?
Then I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so a while back, I was playing League of Legends, and one of the people in my game was playing on, I believe it was an Apple tablet. That
League
was
of Legends on a
on a
tablet.
tablet,
I
yeah.
can see that as being possible because I played through XCOM, like 50% of it. XCOM, the new XCOM that just came out, XCOM 2, like 50% of it, I played it on my tablet. I ran Splash Top on my desktop, and I just controlled the mouse pointer with my tablet when I was away from my desktop. And you could play
Right,
that
but
entire
that's
game with just the mouse, and it works.
it's less of the controls that I was impressed with. It was actually that he was running at a better frame rate than a desktop could, or not could, but most desktops do. He was running at like 100 and something FPS.
Wait, so he wasn't just
How?
streaming the game off of it; he was running like full
He
Windows
was
on his
literally
tablet.
running League of
Okay.
Legends on his tablet at school.
Well, depending on what the tablet is, there are tablets these days that are like $3,000 that have like full laptop components in them.
He
So
was like a college student, so I'm expecting to not have that, but
that doesn't mean anything
it
because
was
if anything, I had a more powerful laptop when I was in university than I do now. Because in university, I was like, I'm gonna spend more money on my mobile device because I'm gonna be out of the house so much.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. I never even thought about that. I was like, I'm not gonna need anything like other than my computer when I go to university because I'm always
No, but
gonna be.
you're gonna have like late nights where you're in the library like working on something until like 10 p.m. at night.
Why in the library?
So if you don't have a good computer with you, you don't have a good tablet, you don't have something good with you all the time, you're gonna get bored of your mind.
Wait, why? Oh, in the library.
For me personally, it was an hour and a half to school, an hour and a half back from school.
So
So
you would rather just be in the library than go all the way home?
yeah, like if I start working on something, I don't want to like have to close all the books and leave halfway. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
makes
doesn't
sense.
really make a big difference to me. It's not like I'm sleeping there. It's just where I'm working doesn't really make a difference. And
Yeah.
I find that personally at home, there's a lot of distractions. Like when I'm at home, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go cook myself some food. But if I'm like out of the house, I'll be like, I'll just walk to the food court, buy some fast food, eat it, and go back, start working on something. And there's other things in your house. You're always like thinking about something else. You're like, oh, I can go and play PlanetSide, or I can go watch a movie or something. There's always something there because you have all those distractions at home. So, yeah.
Very,
or you've
very
got your
true.
friend that drops by and like especially if you're in dorm or something, your friend will drop by and hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that too. If you're in a dorm, that's distractions abundantly there. You probably have a roommate that's always like poking at you. Hopefully not, if you're lucky.
Not physically
Um,
poking at you, mentally.
no, physically. Sure you've been there before. Where the hell were we? How do we get there? We were talking about Quantum Break. So the game is locked at 50 FPS. There are frame drops. Cinematics are capped at 30 FPS, but because of the frame drops and frame rating issues, it feels like it's less than 30 FPS, which makes everything feel choppy. There are resolution issues where certain parts of the game are rendered in 1080p and then re-rendered in 720p for some reason
Okay,
after a certain effects.
what stage of development is this game currently in?
It's released.
It's released.
That doesn't sound like a release. This sounds like a catastrophic
It does.
failure of judgment for whoever decided that this was released ready.
I don't think it was like a lapse in judgment. I think what it was is they knew there were problems on the PC, but they just wanted to get this thing out on the Xbox One because that would be their main platform.
That's kind of sad because I mean, a lot of games, the first month or so is the make or break of the game. If it
Yep.
does well in the first month or so, it might actually survive into years, especially for PC games. But I mean, if it's got
Yep.
so many problems in the first month and a half, it's not going to live that long. Like, they've just killed off part of their market. But
Yeah.
I know we always go back to Blizzard games, and I got two Blizzard points on this. One is the old Blizzard games such as Warcraft and I think Diablo 2, they were re-released to be compatible with
Whee!
the proper resolutions of nowadays. So higher for refresh rate, higher resolution. However, the old cinematics are still running at like 480. What?
Wow.
Yeah. The other Blizzard point I was going to make is
They did
escaping
go
me right
back
now.
and model and retexture all of the character models like 2 years ago.
Oh, did they? They did all the.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So like now your character actually looks decent, high res. Like the facial expressions are all high res. The clothes are all textured really well.
Well, that sounds pretty good. The other Blizzard point I was going to make is before Blizzard became a public company, they actually used to care a lot about releasing a game properly. And by that, I mean, when they said, okay, we're going to be releasing this game in July, and late June comes around, and it's just like, well, there's a problem. We're going to be pushing it back to August. August could come around, and they're like, well, no, sorry, September. They would delay their game releases, and they would keep the public informed. Yeah, we're delaying our release, but
They had the money
product,
to do that.
but the
There's a lot of
product
companies
that
and
they
developers out there that can't extend it by 6 months because it would cost them an extra, $400,000 or something to pay all their employees.
maybe so, but like Blizzard would always release a better product by waiting rather than rushing out a piece of shit. And as I said,
and they're known
games
for
will die in
canceling games as well. If they
Right.
don't feel a game is up to par, they will completely cancel a game they've been working on for like 5-10 years.
Wow.
Like-
Really?
Yeah.
When's the last time they did something like that? I've never heard of them doing something like that.
Titan.
Just
Oh.
StarCraft Ghost.
Oh.
StarCraft Ghost.
There's
Tons of
two
games.
examples in the past 5 years.
Well, Titan is being rolled out into a few separate games, right?
Isn't it part of Overwatch?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think that's Overwatch is an interesting game to keep an eye on because we're actually seeing a lot of real gameplay for Overwatch now. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's something really interesting about Overwatch is the devs for Overwatch actually released an in-depth explanation of netcode in layman's terms and how their Overwatch netcode works. And for those that don't know, netcode is a very complicated system to try and make sure that everybody playing a game gets the same experience. And when everybody's connected,
it governs the refresh rate and what to do during times of low latency, drop packets, and like trying to mitigate those things,
It seems like a lot of work.
eventualities.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like you need a network engineer. You need someone that's actually familiar with all this stuff to design it for you.
Right, but they actually laid it out for all of their players and said, hey, this is how our game is running. If you're experiencing this, this is why. But it shouldn't be appearing here. So if you see it here. So, I mean, that's really, really nice to see that
The transparency.
they're putting in the time. Right. I really like that. I think that's a really great thing for game developers to do. Because, I mean, if you look at Reddit and a lot of people are criticizing game devs, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Well, you have no idea what it takes to do most of what they are doing. You got to give them credit where credit is due. And when they're putting in the effort, like releasing all of these informative pieces of information, such as describing netcode, that's insane. That's
Not really. I think
no, I mean it's insanely good. Yeah.
right. I just think that they don't find that information is necessarily like proprietary. They don't need to keep it secret.
Right, but the thing is, like, look at video game development from 10 years ago. Like, they never told you what was coming until it's like, okay, we're doing a public test on this. You guys want to tell us what you think about this? And it's like, what? You're doing this? Like, they sort of pulled things out of a hat, and everybody was impressed because they didn't even, like, everything was behind closed doors, and it was the awe factor. Now there is no awe factor. it's everything is transparent, which admittedly is great. You get to see how your favorite game is coming along, but the devs don't often get to surprise you.
So are
And
you saying that that's a bad thing, or you're saying the transparency is a good thing?
I like the transparency and I dislike it at the same time. I think that it needs to be finessed and not just a hard edge of if you're doing transparency, be transparent. I think you have to have the devs put in some time and thought and say, hey, I want the people to know that this is going to be coming out. Or it's like, no, we want to impress our player base. Let's keep this one under our hats.
Look at a game like Star Citizen, which has mostly been crowdfunded, so they owe the people that crowdfunded them explanations for where they're spending their
Right.
money. So they're very transparent about everything.
They're forced to be. But I mean, let's say
They don't
that
necessarily have to tell you exactly what they're doing.
okay, yeah, they
But they
could
do.
skip the details. You're right. They could skip all of the details and they could say, you know, we're working on a great system that's going to be doing X, Y, and Z. It's going to allow us to do this sort of spatial combat or whatnot, but they don't tell you the details of what you're going to be experiencing. And that's the kind of transparency that they could do that would be fantastic. You tease people
Sure.
without telling them all of the details.
Well, I think for Quantum Break, it's a little late for that since the game's already out. But yeah. So let's wrap up this topic, and let's move into our last topic for this podcast, which is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The official teaser trailer came out for this movie, and let's take a look at it. I mean, I think we all have something to say about this, and it's
So are we going to take a minute for people to watch the video here, or we get, like, because
Yeah,
I
we are.
believe all four of us. Oh, okay.
Three, two, one, playing.
The following preview has been approved for appropriate audiences by the Motion Picture Association of America.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State your name for the record.
Jin Ursa.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
On your own from the age of 15. Reckless, aggressive.
Floating scenes from
This is a rebellion.
the first
isn't it?
movie.
I rebel. We have a mission for you.
Star Destroyer.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Those look really small compared to the huge Death Star.
Yes, sir.
Because they
Well-
are.
Do you remember when they thought it was a small moon?
Yep.
That's no moon. That's a space station.
When they catch you. What will you do if they break you?
Got a Ip
You
Man.
continue to fight. What will you become?
So when is this going to be out? December?
December.
Literally, that's it right there.
Right as you
Hey.
asked it.
Hey, that's what I wanted to know, and that's how it should be. I mean, you ask a question, and bam, it's the only question you need to know right there.
You guys were talking about like how small the Star Destroyer looks behind with the star with the Death Star in the background.
Come on.
And
you
then
can speak.
when
I
we
believe in
watched The Force Awakens, we see that the Death Star versus Starkiller Base is the same way. The Death Star is like this little tiny thing. Starkiller Base is like a giant planet So, Nick, you wanted to say something
Yeah,
about.
so I had a question for you guys. When you watch this trailer, obviously it gets you excited. It looks like Star Wars. You understand it's a Star Wars movie. But my question to you is, are you aware of when this movie's taking place? Like, when you watch this trailer, do you have questions about what's going on? Because especially with Episode 7 just coming out.
Yeah, I was like, I thought this next movie was gonna be part like after 7 to 8 with all those characters, but I didn't see any of them, so I was really confused.
The helmets reminded me of like between 4 and 6 for the non-stormtrooper, the other officers, and I can only say it's got to be somewhere around then.
Yeah. So, and I think this is a major screw up on their part, because not a lot of people, unless if you're a huge Star Wars fan like me, or people who watch a lot of different news outlets and whatnot, probably have no idea what this movie was until this trailer. And
Really?
they don't do a good job about, hey, this is what's up, because this movie is going to take place right before Episode 4. If you go back and watch A New Hope, in the crawl, it talks about how in the Rebel Alliance first victory over the Galactic Empire, during a battle, Rebel spies managed to steal the plans of the Death Star.
Yeah.
This movie is about that battle and those spies.
Yeah.
And a
Is it-
lot of
it's
people are
so-
confused. A lot of people are
It's
confused.
it's common sense. What do you think
It's
this
not.
is about?
And
It's only
not.
common
and I
sense.
don't blame people. I don't blame people, because here's why. First off, Episode 7 just came out, right? Hey, all these cool new
Yes.
characters that everyone loves. Oh, another Star Wars movie? So it's part 2. No, none of these characters are in there. Okay, well, where are they? Another thing is, we've already had 2 Death Stars, and then one of the biggest complaints about Episode 7, well, depending on who you talk to, was the fact that the main bad weapon was just a bigger Death Star. And so they're like, wait, there's another Death Star? What the, people are like, what the
That's
hell's
like
going on?
1,000 times bigger than the first one.
Yeah, and so, people are rightfully confused. And that's not the case. It's beforehand. Another thing that people are confused about is people are going, I thought the Bothans stole the plans. Well, that's the second Death Star. And the reason why people are probably making that assumption is because this movie has Mon Mothma, which was only in Return of the Jedi. And so people probably are connecting it, saying, oh, it's that Death Star, even though it's
Well,
already
he was
fully built.
probably alive back during,
But-
She was.
pre-New-
Actually,
New Hope.
there's a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi that actually shows the beginning stages of the Rebel Alliance, because it has Mon Mothma, that the Senator Balgana, General Dondona, whatever his name was, and a couple other people.
No
And
idea.
there's a meeting of them talking about, hey, if if he doesn't step down, what are we gonna do? And they're like, we're gonna rebel. And it's like a secret meeting. It's a deleted scene. So she's been around the whole time, but people don't know that,
Interesting.
right? People don't know that, so it's safe to assume. And so what I think they should have done was actually very similar to the Ghostbusters, where how they had remember we watched the Ghostbusters a month ago or whatever, where it had 30 years ago in New York, blah 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 blah.
Oh, just sort
Well-
of something to place the timeline.
Exactly, place it in a timeline. And the funny thing is that Ghostbusters didn't make sense because it's a completely different timeline. They're saying that the original Ghostbusters team never existed, whereas this would fit perfectly. Or the other thing too is Darth Vader's supposed to be in the movie, so you could have just shown Darth Vader, and people would be like, "Oh, Darth Vader's alive," then it obviously can't be Episode 8. But yeah, I just
That's
wanna
probably
get your-
spoiler though.
I don't think it's a spoiler unless you see what Darth Vader's doing. I mean,
Oh,
just because
it's-
there's a character present doesn't mean you understand his plot and impact on the story.
And that's another thing too, is this is what they've said is it's being shot, and the story timeline is of a war movie. So that should be pretty interesting to see if they stick with that and how dark it is and whatnot. Obviously there's not gonna be blood and guts and stuff like Saving Private Ryan as far as the actual graphic nature of it, but the storytelling aspect is supposed to be, you're following this team of spies as they go in and steal them. So
Well, that's something else. It is a storytelling thing, and a lot of people when they go to a movies or go to the movies will only appreciate what's
Go
on
to
screen in
movies.
front of them. Yes. Mhm. Okay, so when you go to the movie, you generally are only aware of what's going on the screen in front of you. But Nick, you are very well informed as to what's going on in most of the whole Star Wars universe, and it's your background knowledge that is giving you an advantage here. This
I don't have this background knowledge, and I still know like what the movie's about.
right, but you have a little more understanding of the universe. You've heard Nick talk about it, and like there are people who watch a movie and they understand all the details of what the movie is, and then there are those that watch it for the entertainment value. And those that just watch it for the entertainment value vaguely remember, like they could go into the theater vaguely remembering the old Star Wars movies.
Dude,
They're
if you
probably
don't know
gonna,
what happened in the original Star Wars movies,
they may not remember every
you're not a
detail.
Star Wars fan.
Right. And that's the thing is this Rogue movie seems like it's only going to appeal to Star Wars fans right now. I think that it's not being released properly. I don't think it's got the right information out there, as we've covered. As
Mhm.
they don't have the timeline established, they don't have the characters established.
Well,
It's
they
just
still have how many months? Like 8 months to get this
Right,
right?
and it is a quote unquote teaser trailer.
Yeah.
And so I mean, and who knows, that you could argue that they did this on purpose, because this discussion of wait, what? Why isn't this episode 8 is creating discussion and getting the word out there. So hindsight, it could be a smart ploy on their part too, to make it kind of ambiguous and not very clear of what's going on.
well,
I still think they screwed up though, personally.
this may just be a sort of a feeler where this is only going to. They know that this one is intentionally only going to hit the true Star Wars fans, but they may be doing a trailer release that's going to hit the general public in mass, and that could be coming in 3 months. um,
I think the general response to the trailer has been pretty positive.
right, but I mean, what's this sample? Is this sample only people who like Star Wars, or is this general
Well, not to
public?
mention it's going to be positive because I mean it has the name Star Wars. So I mean, even if people don't know what's going on, it's overall it's still going to be a positive.
But that's the thing is
Yeah.
people, even though people may not understand every detail of the movie, they may still find the movie entertaining overall with a good story arc for the movie itself as it's like alone, and that might make the movie work even if they don't understand all the backstory, and that would just give the movie a lot more depth for those true fans. You know, it may turn out well. I mean,
Yeah,
we just
it can
have
go
a
either way right
negative
now.
outlook.
So
Yeah.
you guys have the negative outlook. I think the trailer was
No,
great.
no,
I
I like the
understand where it's
trailer.
coming
I'm
from.
just saying that they could have put a little more thought into it, or it could have been a little bit better. Like
Mm.
the trailer itself, I thought was a good trailer. I liked it. I loved it. I'm just saying that I think they possibly screwed up by with their decision making on it.
I have one problem with the trailer, but it's more having to do with physics and
Go on.
human survivability. Okay,
Which part?
so you know in the right at the end where the what is it, the AT-AT Walker thing? You know how it swivels its head really fast and fires in the general direction?
Yep.
Aren't there people in that cockpit head?
Yes.
Think about how
Sure.
big that is and how far it just swung. Think about how many G-forces they just
They
endured.
have
All right, let me take a look at this.
oh my god, mind blank. There
It
is
wasn't that bad.
they have anti-G devices, whatever they call them. The
Oh, right.
Inertial dampeners.
Yeah, inertial dampeners that they. I mean, why it would be on an AT-AT, I don't know, but you could argue that it was installed because that's the starships have them and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right, but the starships are in
Okay.
space. This is on
No,
a
but
planet. It's
I
a
just
little different.
watched the head move, and it's not that
Doesn't matter.
bad. Like
It cancels G's. That's what it does. And so
the head swivels a bit. It's not like it instantaneously whipped from the left to the right and broke all their necks. It
no,
looked
I'm not
down
talking-
and then it shot.
Right, but it's the sudden or it's a quick movement with a sudden stop. That's what's going to cause G-force.
It wasn't as bad as you were saying. It's that doesn't bother
Well,
me
how
at all.
big is it? How big is the AT&T locker? Because I mean, in the what is it, 4, 5, 6? What is it? I can't remember how
5
big they seem.
Empire Strikes. You can
There.
fit. It's like 3 people can sit inside the cockpit, inside the head.
Okay, so that thing's got to be what, like 60 feet tall?
We can probably Google the measurements, but the head itself, it looks like like a large SUV. Like you're basically sitting in the front of
Yeah.
a pickup truck or something.
Right.
Or
It
like
just
semi.
it seems. I don't know. I'm just trying to picture this vehicle, and it's a little silly how quickly the head moved in comparison to seeing
I
it
think it's
in Episode
fine.
5.
I think it's
I'm just
fine.
being nitpicky.
I think you're just overreacting over something little.
Did you
Mm.
see the head moving in episode 5 where it would like whip around and shoot like the
It was
Y-wings?
nodding.
Wait, the Y-wings? Is it? No,
It was
it's
sort
the,
of nodding, and it was doing a slow, gentle arc, wasn't it?
No. No.
Okay. It just seems like I understand that the movie magic technology has gone leaps and bounds in the past 40 years, but
Nick, what is the name of the fighter they use on
Snowspeeder?
Hoth? Snowspeeder? Is it? Is that the name for it?
Mhm.
Okay.
It is. I mean, there's probably a technical thing, but they reference it as Snowspeeder.
So is it only for snow planets?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It's called the T-47 Airspeeder. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I just
Snowspeeder.
couldn't think of the name before. I think we got a good look at the new RollerCoaster Tycoon. It's in early access right now. Pick it up on Steam if you want it.
Nick, what is the casualty report of this park?
0.
Really? You have let me down.
Never had enough money to go build my own coaster.
Get the
Well,
money.
I think your park looks really nice right now. So we'll see everyone next week. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the Rogue One trailer. And have a good weekend.
See
See
you
you
guys.
later, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Like he looks at Frodo, says, "Fly, you fools," and then falls down, and he battles the Balrog all the way down into the bowels of the earth, and that's when he gets reborn into Gandalf the White.
Oh, I don't remember that. I've watched all the Lord of the Rings too, so
Apparently not.
I have. I
All
just,
right.
I don't remember
then
those
you're-
little things.
You're watching movies wrong then.
Is there a right way to watch movies?
Yeah, after you watch the movie, you remember what happened.
That movie was so old. That's like 10 years ago.